I know you'd rather not say it, but I look like a dick without ears. These fucking earphones make my ears stick and they fucking hurt like fucking wouldn't believe it. Gotta get some of those over the earphones. These are only like $4 or $5 from the Buck store. I mean, the other pair I dropped them and they broke, but I know you don't want me to say it, but yeah. I still fucking hate rats and I hate what the nice man the TV said about goose and rats and shit. And it never ends, you know. There's always going to be conviction. There's going to be error. There's going to be elimination. There's going to be learning. They're going to start learning in the schools about it. But the permanent deviations of social media integrating, you know, and everything having a media where you can chat doesn't mean that it's mediated. I mean, my first time I used a dating site, I had to go to a internet cafe 2006 for real, man. And it was like I had to put my license down, I had to put my address, anything with a photo ID, just to use that internet ID, because it was so, they thought you could do so much with it, right? Which they could. And back then there was like scantily dressed women, you know, old, you know, taking, you know, look at me, you know, down my top and shit like that. It's like, well, why are they able to say that half of the women feel that it was, you know, wrought upon by themselves, by their own character making, and then the other women are, you know, they're like, oh, there's no reason why I should have been, you know, sexually coerced on that dating site because I was taking pictures in my bedroom, in my kitchen, in my bathroom, and, you know, on the couch, and all of them from up here, where the cleavage is apparently bigger than the men's penises. I mean, there's only one way to say it. People like Mr. Epstein, you know, they're good business and shit like that, but once they spy, they try to get ahead and shit. It gets to be kind of apparent how they got ahead, and watching somebody like a friend like that get ahead and manipulate and, you know, cut people off in business by cheating and getting ahead and telling them that they're not going to succeed when they could have, or it's like insider trading, right? Or how do you say it? Coercion. Bad business, you know. It's not fair practice. You know, you buy a used car that they didn't tell you was in an accident, and then you get in an accident, you find out it doesn't have a proper bumper. It's like, oh well, fuck, I could have died, man. That guy could have fucking killed me by neglect and shit. Like, it just, people don't add it up properly, and they get over involved, and then they realize that it's all about people that were underage, and, you know, they procured lots of women, but he procured younger women and hid it. So, and they're trying to say it's not for the same reason as a woman that's over 18. They've procured an older woman, and then they've, you know, kind of tried to change their way about younger women. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to hide it because of the Youth Young Offenders Act and stuff like that protects the youth from generalized prosecution, but at the same time, they're exposing them 20 years later while there's other cases that are ongoing, and they're saying that no, they didn't procure the younger women for that purpose, but they did, because their whole thinking is that they just had them there for help and stuff. But as soon as they get them to a party atmosphere where they're like, how do you say it? Prone prone to be in an environment where they're going to be, you know, molested or sexually coerced, sexually assaulted, or even just easily put into an atmosphere where there's adults around that are there for sex. They're there to party. They want to let loose. They want to pick up a hot date. You know, maybe there's couples there that exchange couples all the time, and then there's teens around hanging around. They're you know, just hanging around for because there's so much work around. All of a sudden they're involved in it, and then they're saying, well, no, we didn't procure them for that reason, but they were told to come to the party where there was going to be that atmosphere. So I don't fail to see the purpose of it going on, and like, unless they're going to pay the world at this point. Like, the only reason I'm saying that this Epstein thing is so big is because if you've ever seen a fever blister pop and then the rash start after, that's what happens. All this Pizzagate and everything, and you know, it hurts everybody's feelings a lot. But you have to admit it that it's not a study anymore. The internet is not a study anymore. The sales tactics aren't studies anymore. People are just manipulating and cutthroat, and they'll say that, oh, your picture for your ad really, really sucks, and that you should change it or you're going to be suffering. Meanwhile, it didn't make a fucking difference, but they had to insult that person that made that ad. There's no room for that fucking lazy ignorance in life. And then to say that you're going to practice saying sorry to somebody for forever over being stupid and ignorant, it's just fucking bullshit. You know, this whole Epstein thing, it's a fever blister before the rash. Let's say I watched the internet from the years 99, 98, all the way up until the present day, and I say, no, they got lazy, and they're telling the world, the software people are telling the world, you people got to pay up. You know, the government and everybody won't fund us to say that we have to fight the ad campaigns and fight child pornography and just basically fight the pornography industry in general, and say that their prices are way too high. When they come out with the e-zine, they easily submitted higher prices and less material. More narrow-minded fucking shit. I'm telling you the fucking truth. And then the reoccurring billing thing that went on by accident every once in a while it's just too much. And then, you know, they let child pornography and loose pornography into the generalized market, and they're saying that it's everybody else's fault in the world. It's not. They're the ones that let those fucking files be viewed and placed in a spot where they could be sucked up into the market. It's not everybody else's fault. They're always saying that people are so kind and forgive these big mistakes and stuff like that. I've seen child pornography on there, but I've never viewed it. Never masturbated. It doesn't excite me. Children they're innocent. Even if they come on to an adult sexually, they still have the initiative to stop and change their mind. It's not like a dog where you're like, get down please, don't touch me, go over there and fuck off. It's a child. Yeah, they say, you know, you're having unexplored feelings, you're only 6-7 years old, you know, just sit on the floor, be calm for a sec, you know, like stop rubbing on my leg like a dog there, you're staring at the TV inadvertently, that type of shit. Only a parent knows those type of situations where you have to right the child, right? Commercials, you know, even Colgate, you know, exercise commercials, it's frivolous. People are hoping for frivolous activity, hoping to have simplistic attitudes about things, and that's how it comes easy. But I'm just telling you that it's a long time to say that it's specifically the government and the software people didn't get along, and they released it, they let it all go. Now, you know, as far as all the immigrant and sex trade there, how it's all integrated, I can see how people might think it's Canada and all that shit, because, you know, somebody like me might see something that online and then become so disinterested in sex that they know, you know, you can't report it. I've reported shit on Hamster X before there, and they just put it back up there. I just thought, well, it's fucked up. Looks like some fucking 14-year-old boy and like his aunt or some fucking thing. That's the way they put it, but it just looks. They just made it too real. They made it too real to be sexual, so it's just so it's not attractive. But they put it back up there. So where's the threshold of blame and it used to be that if you published anything or you made anything like that, you'd be sued for publishing, obviously for the rights of taking, the system and just displaying your art at random and not, fitting, and then finding out that it was like a social attack that had no structure. It was just basic slander or smut that, has no real sustainable Gaia.